What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode on the vlog. So today we're going to be changing out the valve cover gaskets on the motor. I have my valve cover gasket over here. So we already did one side. We wanted to make sure that we knew what we were doing before we showed you guys how to do it. This is part of a build series where we're doing a motor swap into my Subaru. This is the JDM motor. Unfortunately, my USDM motor blew on me, so we're swapping this motor into the car. If you want to see the rest of the series, click right here. Make sure you subscribe, so that way you don't miss any more of our videos and you can see the rest of this content. Next, we're going to be putting on the clutch and flywheel and throwing this bad boy in. So, what we got to do first is basically, we got to start taking off these valve cover bolts, and we're going to get into that right now. Alright, so we first got to get this old valve cover off so we can change the gasket. There's 8 bolts holding it in, and they're 10 millimeters, so all you'll need is a 10 millimeter socket and a ratchet. You'll be able to pull those off. So let's get this off. Alright, so as you guys just saw, we took all the bolts out, we got the valve cover off, and I've already cleaned it up and put in the new gasket. So we got a new gasket, we got new spark well gaskets. It's looking nice and clean. Pretty good shape too. There's not much staining. Usually if there's like a lot of oil staining, you know, that could be a sign of you having valve issues and stuff like that, like leaky valves, but it looks pretty good. Everything came off with some brake cleaner and a rag, so pretty satisfied. We got this all cleaned up. Got the surface that we're gonna be putting the valve cover onto cleaned up. We just have to clean off these spark plug wells as well. And then once those are cleaned off, we'll put a little RTV in the corners near where the cams go, here and here. We'll probably put a little RTV back here and here as well, and these little, like, I don't know, these little spot fillers basically. And just so no, you know, oil leaks through any of those cracks. And then we'll put this bad boy back on, so let's put some RTV on. Alright, so we're gonna be putting a little RTV right here. Right on this like kind of cam steel up here, so nothing leaks out of right there. Little in here and a little back here as well. And then a little here, 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 and here. So we're gonna start in this corner and just work our way all the way around. So you just want to lie it on very thin. You know, you don't need too much at all. And just kind of dab it. Look at that. Slide some little dots. Perfect. Same thing on this side. Alright, now we got the RTV laid down. Let's put this valve cover back on. It's a pretty simple process. Anyone could do this at home. All you really need is a 10 mil. You're going to want a torque wrench too, so you torque it all down to spec. And of course the gaskets. But other than that, it's pretty simple. So I'm happy. We're moving through this one good. Let's get it done. Alright, so let's put this valve cover back on. Looking like that's the money spot. Oh, bro. Fuck.
Bro, I got that one on video right here.
Fuck, dude. That's so bad. Shit, can I see a light? That's not good, guys.
It's always something, huh? Way down under. Found it.
Got it. That was scary. I thought it fell into the timing cover. The last one. Boom. Alright. Alright, you ready?
Perfect timing, boys.
Alright, so last thing that we gotta do is put the bolts back in. We're putting in these new washer seals. So they got like a little rubber seal on the back. Put in one of those in each spot. just to make sure we have no oil leaks at all. That's the reason we're doing all this, you know, to make sure that this motor is as reliable as it can be once it goes back in. And yeah, that's pretty much all you need to do to replace your valve cover gasket. I'll get back to you guys once we put the bolts in. So we got the valve cover back on. That wasn't too hard. On the first side, we kind of had a little problem. We broke a bolt when we were pulling it out, so that gave us issues and took a while. That's why we didn't get to film too much of this process. But if your motor was still in the car, basically the only difference that you'd have to do, you'd have to pull out your coil plugs, right? So your coil packs have one bolt for each of them, and then they come right out. You just pull them right off of the spark plugs. You know, and there's some plugs that you'd have to unplug. These two plugs go to them. It's just as simple as clicking the button and then it unplugs for you. So real easy. And then you'd also have to disconnect this hose, which is the last thing that I'm reconnecting right here. This coolant hose. You just pinch down on that little clamp. You can slide it on, let go. There you go. So now we're good to go. I am gonna be changing the spark plugs. I'm gonna be doing a video on that. So that will be in the next video. For the rest of this video, I'm gonna set you guys up on a time lapse, and I'm just gonna see how much I can get done on this motor. I wanna put the turbo back on. I wanna put the turbo inlet back on. You saw how I took all that stuff off before, so you don't really need a video on that. It's pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory. But if you have any questions, put them in the comments, and I'll check in with you guys in a bit.
One eternity later.
What's up, guys? So it's a few days later. I've been super busy, you know, prepping for finals. If any of you guys are in school, you feel it, you feel the pain, you know, always super busy this time of year. But yeah, you guys saw us get the valve cover done. Let me show you guys what else we've done to the motor so far. Got a bunch of little stuff done. Put the turbo inlet back on. I put on this reservoir, it's the coolant and expansion tank. And then I also put my turbo back on too in the back. Got everything connected, you know, all new exhaust gaskets and stuff like that. So it's basically ready to go. All we gotta do is the spark plugs. I have the belt sitting on here right now. I just need to tighten down the alternator so it comes up a little bit and puts tension on that belt. Put the spark plugs in, and then I can put it back on the hoist. And once we're back on the hoist, then all we gotta do is the clutch and flywheel, and then we're ready to drop this motor in. Super hyped on how this has been going. It's been flying by. It's been a great learning experience. But I've also been out filming a lot of other stuff for you guys. I've been going out to Irwindale, you know, going to the burn box, checking out my homies drifting. I want to start going to the Hoonigan events at the burn yard over there. So if you guys like drifting content, you know, anything like that, track content, I also filmed a lot of the drag races. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, because next week's video is going to be all the Irwindale clips that I've been getting. Also got a drone, so I got a bunch of dope drone clips. I'll cut to a drone clip right now so you guys can see, give you guys a little sneak peek. So I hope you guys like that little sneak peek. That's of what's to come. I've been going out to Irwindale a lot. I'm super hyped to start making videos out there with my boys, and I can't wait to get a drift car for myself and start driving out there. Hope you guys are excited for what's to come. If you guys aren't already subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And if you haven't already, check out some of the videos on this card. It'll show you the rest of the videos in this build series, us taking out the motor, you know, getting it prepped, you know, just doing little stuff to it, painting the engine bay, cleaning up the engine bay. If you guys like that kind of content, make sure you click up here to the rest of the playlist. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for your support. And comment below what you guys would like to see next in the comments. And remember, guys, what your mind can conceive and believe, you can achieve. Peace out.